Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're diving back into some more Create Above and Beyond. So as we jump into today's Create video, of course, there is more for us to do. We have to make several more machines. This was just one of several machines that we're gonna need to make, but there's gonna be several like micro machines that we're gonna be making that are actually be kind of cool that revolve around the machines that we made here. So because we set this up, we now have access to everything we're going to need in order to make basically the chromatic singularities. There are still a couple of other steps that need to be done. So we've already got the contraption set up for sticks because that was pre-existing. We're done with the cobble because we have a cobblestone contraption that is set up that is making these. So this can be checked off. But now we need to focus on this line because this all leads up into this thing, Inception. So we are going to be dealing with crushing wheels today. First of all, we have to, for one, crush crushing wheels, and we also need to crush cobblestone down into gravel and then gravel into sand, which also produces two other byproducts as a result of crushing down into sand. So and then we can potentially use those other byproducts for things that, I don't know, maybe the things that we have set up over here, you know, that might actually work. So let's get started with this. We're actually going to need quite a bit of room. And this general area is going to be where we set this up. We still might end up expanding either up or elsewhere. Because up, we could take it above these machines because these machines work just fine where they're at. So this might end up being another situation where we build a layer on top. The goal is to eventually like cover this stuff with things. So like each one of these areas here maybe have their own building associated with it, and we'll work on maybe spending episodes building like little things around them. That would be kind of cool. That's kind of why I'm designing these areas like this and you know, giving it a little bit of room. Like we have this area over here. It's kind of a larger factory. Our main house, we have this, which will be a large crop later on. We have this little factory, you know, so on and so forth. I think they're going to be little cute areas. We'll see. We'll figure out how to do this. First of all, let's get, let's say, cobblestone done. So I think this area is going to be pretty decent for this. So all we have to do is set up wheels just like this. I think of them being on their side is super, super efficient and should work just fine. And believe it or not, them being on their side and with one water wheel underneath is actually more than enough to spin them around. Actually, I believe we can spin two of these with just one water wheel, or it's close to it. So let's take out our water wheels. We have to dig some holes and then extend up. And then we also need to get our cobblestone generator set up, and we're going to be using a pipe to send those in. So cobblestone generator, you know what? You'll be probably fine just going right here. Just right in the ground, just like with everything else. Just plop you down, and then we'll start feeding you with water and lava, and bam, you're producing. We'll throw your upgrade in there. Just make sure you're making enough, even though this is probably more than enough between both of those to provide for this one as well, but we'll go with this. Okay, now we need to get that up to a belt line. And then we also need the wheels to crush. Now, since we're doing cobblestone into sand, that's what we're doing here. We are going to have two sets of water wheels. We're going to have two sets of crushers. So we need a crusher that is probably going to go here because of the area here. And then we need a crusher that is a little bit further down the road. And I might even be able to use the water from this wheel for this. We'll see. This will be the belt. So this needs to be exactly where this thing's at. Let's get this bad boy put together. So in order to get the water wheel set up, I believe this right here should be perfect. So all we need is our water buckets. And if I place the water right there, that should get all of them spinning, I believe, in just the right direction. Actually, these are spinning in the opposite direction. So all these need is a gearbox placed on top, and they'll be spinning in the right direction. So after all of this is set up, we should be good. Yeah, it'll need a vertical gearbox just like this, and there we go. Now all of this is spinning just like we wanted to, And all we got to do is lay down our belt line. Like I said, the belt is going to go through this area. I don't know if it's going to be this long, but we can just assume that that's exactly where it's going to go. Grab our belts, plop that bad boy down, and we'll actually use this as its rotational power to power these belts. So once this is extended up, we'll end up using a cogwheel, just like the other ones, to end up powering this bad boy. So we'll go ahead and extend that up, because this actually needs to be one higher. And we should have this going just the way we need them. Go ahead and plop that on. Look at that. And so we now have the double crusher set up. Now be careful, don't walk into the side of this thing. Don't walk into this thing in general. It will totally kill you. It is not your friend. Okay, so to make this even better, yeah, I see what I'm going to have to do. We need to get our wrench, and we actually need to click this to shorten the belt one. And then we can actually place a drawer. This is why the andesite casing, like I just been making a bunch of it, because it's actually kind of a nice sort of like halfway building block. So we'll set this up. We have another extractor, so that way we can use the pipes to route this in. This should be fine for doing that. Yeah, or we can use like an andesite funnel. It doesn't matter. I guess you can use an andesite funnel too, like sort of set this thing up, because it'll always be cobblestone. Let's try that. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So instead of using pipes, you can go about this way. Placing this on top shoots the item up, and then if you place this here, it should pull the item in so long as this is inverted. So let's pull that up. There you go. You can see the items going in. And that should continue to do that. That's how a lot of my other setups have been set up. And then what we can do is just place this here. It's only going to output, I believe, one at a time, so long as there is space. And then when it comes to that gearbox I was talking about, let's go ahead and get our cogs placed into the side. Just like our other ones. A cog there. And actually, this one's going to be a little bit different. What we can actually do here, I don't want to put a gearbox in, because if I put a gearbox, things will be a little bit harder. So what I might actually end up doing is running off of this one. So right here, we can place a cog, because I think we have a little bit more room. The other cog here. And then I can place a vertical. Let's hope the belt goes the correct way. With the vertical and this way. And yes, the belt is going the correct way. And so once it finishes, we should end up getting a couple of different products. So just like that, you're noticing we're getting sand, but we're also getting other things. This is where I probably want to extend the belt. So you can actually take another belt and click on it to extend the belt. We can still put the drive in there, but I actually need andesite funnels facing this. And let's go ahead and lay down my casing. I'll put a casing here. And then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and place 3 storages that are right there. And then they'll each get andesite funnels. Before I turn this belt back on, I just want to make sure that everything is being placed in here. So I'll definitely put sand in here. Flint is another thing we get. I'll put that first, and then we'll also get clay, which is right here. And it's all a small chance of getting all 3 of those. So with that set, no need for filtering, because I can just use this funnel onto here to go into the storage, and we have everything nice and organized for pull out later on, which is going to be super useful. So, and then later on, if this does overfill, we can always put a lava source over here, and it'll just spit everything out into the lava, which is the way to go. This right here is a contraption for getting all of the sand materials. Let's turn it back on. I can actually remove these casings because we need access to the underneath later on anyways. Actually, we don't really need to grab everything, but we can. Perfect. I think that's it. So I'll just throw a shaft back in there. It's all rolling. And I know this is clipping and all, but it's not that big of a deal. As you can see, everything's going in here. I'll put some stone upgrade or some iron upgrades in this bad boy, and this thing is going to be working perfect. So at this point, it is definitely time for the crushing wheel that is going to be crushing all of our stuff. Is this going in the right direction? Absolutely not for some reason. Do I have this inverted? I have my wheels going backwards, right? Oh wait, no, I have my water going backwards. Oh, goofy me. All right, that's my bad. Place the water on the wrong side. This is actually the more powerful way. There we go. However, that does cause my belt to go in the wrong direction, which is easily fixed by me just doing this. There we go. Now my belt all should go in the right direction. You can see that is spinning. And then I don't know exactly where I want my belt 100% just yet, but belt should go from here to here. And all I got to do is basically get a funnel placed on this. And we are now going to be sending those into here, and those will crush and turn into singularities. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a thing. I better get this set down first. This is going to get a little messy if I don't. There we go. And we'll put a funnel. I love how all this can just be built with regular andesite stuff. Like, this pack has really changed the way that I use Create. Like, now that I've used this mod, like, I believe that I will probably be using this in packs to come for sure, for really very simple automation tasks where I would normally use a hopper and stuff. Like, this definitely has changed me for the long haul, especially if the pack involves this. So there we go. We have singularities being made because, of course, crushing wheels crushing themselves only compacts the world into a tiny little ball and, of course, implodes on itself. Well, the thing we have to do now is quite interesting. We have to combine sand in a crafter with this, which we will probably do right in here. I think what I'll do is I'll pipe them over, because I did learn a new trick with the crafters. So I now have my crafters set up. Of course, all I have to do is set up the actual recipe for this. So back here in the back, I'm getting ready to do the same thing that I used for this. And if I remember correctly, I believe gunpowder. You know what? Let's just look up TNT. Let's just look up TNT. Just make sure. Okay, so it is a cross. So it is a lot more TNT. But here's the thing. I don't think we're going to need a whole lot of TNT for this. That is going to be our whole bottleneck is TNT, because we're producing sand at an incredibly fast rate. So sand goes here in the middle. The rest of it is that. Look at that. Looking perfect. So the only thing left to do is set our mechanical arm. So we set these as our inputs, and then we can shift click on these as our outputs. And then I'm going to place it down. Well, I would place it down. Let's place it down on something that can't be clicked on. I'll end up replacing what it's on later. But now it's ready to go. And I'm thinking about utilizing this over here as its power. I don't know. We also have this water wheel and this water wheel that we can connect into. This actually might be a good way to do this, is actually use this. I'm hoping this water wheel is fast enough on the craft. That is the only problem. Like, we don't need TNT at an incredibly fast rate. So let's test this out. Let's grab cogwheel and we'll just route this stuff around. So this cogwheel needs to be converted. So bam, we'll grab a gearbox. This one's actually a really easy conversion. And it causes stress. Okay, so we are going to need to utilize the power potentially from the water wheels back here. And I'm hoping we have enough stress to be able to handle this. So for this, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. This can be continued, and we have a gear here. And if I have to slow this down to 16, I will. To be able to get this to work. So that is going to work. Question is, it doesn't remember its inputs because I think that when I left off of it, it forgot what it was connected to. Okay, so it knows what it's connected to now. Did I set this one on up high like that one? Yeah. Weird that it's not... Oh, there's nothing on the depots to grab because it didn't set it up. Okay, so we can't grab an input because we don't have this set up. So let's go ahead and say, hey, start extracting, and then over here start extracting. By the way, I have these routed basically underground to kind of get it out of the way. As you can see, I had to make sure to go underneath the water to be able to get this, and they're just popping right onto the depots. So this one, as soon as gunpowder lands here, which it should, and they're just going right to the depots, by the way. And I think that would be a pretty decent buffer. So long as this actually works. Did I miss a pipe down there? Really hope I didn't. Because it's not actually flowing anywhere. I actually believe that I forgot this pipe right here. There we go. All of the dirt. I do it all the time. I'm so used to it. Very simple mistake. Easy to miss. And there we go. There's me cleaning up my mistake. So now we should start seeing them show up. And then there we go. It's going to place. But we need to get the power routed over here in order to start crafting these. So where am I going to get the power from? I mean, I can go ahead and I guess deliver the power from here. So this does not require a specific rotational power. However, this should be able to let us maintain that by carrying it over this way. Gearbox here doesn't touch anything, which is good. And we carry that, and let's hope that this does not stress it out. And voila, we're good. And it shoots the TNT right out there, but I do want the TNT to go into a container. So that's where I'll put the chest right there. And of course we can access the container from the front. Very, very nice. I should probably turn that into a drawer. However, just to go with everything else, I think a drawer would probably look the best. And there it is. Slow but surely, it's working. Does not have to be fast, like I said. This process is going to be a somewhat slowish process at the start. We'll figure out ways to potentially make it faster if we have to down the road. But we have it auto-crafted, which is freaking awesome. So up next, I have a problem. Well, we have to take the Singularity here, and we need to take this, which is the inner dust, and combine them together with an explosion. This automation is probably going to take a little bit of time for me to sort of wrap my head around. And I'm thinking about using like some sort of pressure plate system to sort of detect it and then thus activate the TNT. But you might be thinking, well, won't TNT just blow things up? Well, not exactly, because also if I place like, for example, this here and this here, I believe it'll still combine. We're going to test this out live on camera. You may think that, but no. With the land protected, notice by the way, it dropped 2 of them. With the land protected, TNT doesn't blow up anything. So what we can have is a nice clean setup actually right over here. And it said in the actual description here, it said that it drops at a 1-to-1 ratio. And it says right here that 1 TNT can transfer into multiple sets of ingredients. This result will drop in the same, or drop at the location of the Singularity item. So that means when that TNT blew up, right where the Singularity was at, which I keep picking up, but right where the Singularity was at is where the resulting item should end up dropping. So we should be able to set up a filter to be able to filter these out, and we might be able to get a really small setup for this. I'm thinking pressure plates. I'm thinking that's going to be how we do this, is pressure plates and funnels and a deployer to drop the TNT down. And the pressure plates should automatically, so long as there's 2 items on those pressure plates, should activate the TNT. That's the goal. So I'm going to grab some of the residual TNT I have in here because I won't be needing it elsewhere. And then I'll make some pressure plates. Like they can even be wooden pressure plates. That should work. Like 2 individual pressure plates. We'll see what I can do with some redstone finagling. Oh boy, let's test this out. So my idea is to use an AND gate. And what we have is we'll have 2 chutes. And we'll have one that is basically taking this. And if we take, for example, the Singularity and this, let's just go ahead and use a deployer. So let's say a deployer goes right here. and drops off some TNT. Let's get our deployer placed. I believe it actually needs to go one higher than that. I think, yeah, to interact with the ground, I think. Actually, I want to test out the deployer just to make sure that we get it at the height that it needs to go. But I'm almost positive it needs to go up more. There we go. Perfect. So let's just, for example, give this thing. I think I have a hand crank. Actually, I may not have a hand crank anymore. We could probably give this power. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give this power. I'm definitely going to need more of these. About out of shafts. Okay, so yeah, let's decide to give this power. By the way, this won't work even if two things are run here, because this is an AND gate. We actually need to give it a lever here. That's how we can turn this on and off if we don't want this running at any time. We just need to get power routed over to this bad boy. And to do that, let's see, we don't want anything near. Also, I can give this some TNT, as you can see. Let's see about routing this over here. And I'll just go ahead and use a vertical gearbox to get this all transferred. And there we go. So this is powered. Is that going to place it? Yes. Okay, so as you can see, it placed it. When it goes down again, it's not going to ignite it, is it? Okay, so it won't go down again. Okay. Wow, this is already basically automated. All we need is chutes. And I think we have this. So yeah, because chutes will only allow one item to drop down. I don't have a chute on me at the moment. Isn't it just andesite? Actually, I think andesite and iron sheets. I don't have iron sheets on me at the moment. I'm gonna have to go make some. But let's just go ahead and assume that this works. Let's go ahead and give this a lever signal here. And then all we have to do is use the chute connected to our containers to drop an item here and drop the item here. That is going to, oh, it's going to place the TNT. That's going to break the TNT. I mean, I don't think there's a good way around that. Honestly. Unless this was higher before igniting. But then again, yeah, that's still going to cause a problem. Actually, no. It shouldn't break the block because of the protection. I don't even think it did break the block. But as you can see, it drops the items right where they were dropped. So we can actually use an andesite funnel or some way to pick this up. We should be able to use something to pick this up as it lands right there. Some sort of filtered item. So after a whole lot of trial and error, I have decided that I'm actually going to go with this one-sided. Since we are using a chute, the only thing that'll be charging this is going to be this. This is going to be the item that sets everything off. So we could end up blowing up items, but at least we're generating them infinitely. Like, right? Right. Yeah, that should be a thing. And honestly, we should have more of these than those anyways at all times. All right, so let me grab a little bit of the dirt I have left. And all I'm going to do is just make this super simple. I need a brass filter, and we should have that laying around. A brass funnel going inwards, so the item should shoot out of the chute. It should land here, and we should be collecting these. However, I think I'm going to need a filter, because it seems like these don't stack. I don't know exactly how that filter is going to properly work. We're going to test this out one more time manually. So I'm going to grab one of these. It goes through the chute. It should end up right there, which it does. I did have to use red alloy wire here, which is the same stuff that you use to make the assembly right here, red alloy wire. And then grab this. And this actually works better than redstone because it'll connect to the block next to it. Toss that in. Let's see if this works. And it goes into here. Now, here's the problem. If I do this one more time, I'm almost positive that it won't be able to go into a drawer. We're going to have to use a chest or something because of the way that it stores things, which I don't think we're going to worry about anyways because we're going to be utilizing it instantly. But yeah, notice how it doesn't go in there because the filter, these are actually different items each time. And we'll notice that later, but yeah, for right now, this has to be a chest. Or how about a really large barrel in my case? So now we can actually store these, even though, like I said, they're not going to be stored for all that long. Good thing to note, I did just test, which means this filter still works even though they are different items. At least it knows that at least it allows them through, which is all that matters. As you can see, they just don't really stack. They're all different. And actually, we might end up getting some that do stack. I just don't know how many different types there are. So all that's left to do is to get the last low extraction put in all of these. And well, sit back and see. Oh, this is not good. This is not doing what I want it to do. So maybe we have to switch to smart chutes. Because it's putting out way more than one. I thought that it would only put out one. So I think after a little bit of pipe ingenuity, this should work, because I think this only drops one item at a time. So long as there's not an item in the way, it'll drop an item, I think. Let's test it out on this first. Let's make sure. Let's make sure this will even pipe to this, because it may actually need an inventory. Yeah, I think to recognize anything here, these need inventories. The top one's fine, but this, yeah, all I gotta do is just put something here. So let's turn it on and find out. So let's see if this works. That should send a single item. One item should land. Now it's going to fill the container up, which is fine. It'll just basically be rerouting our containers, which is where they need to go anyways. But yeah, it should be one item at a time now. Oh, fingers crossed. And it should take, oh, you know what? When that drops, it's going to immediately. So let's just hope that it gives it enough time for this automation to work. Oh, that's right. So we need to place the redstone down. Let's hope it gives enough time. As soon as that places, it did. It gave it another one. And yeah, we got automation, baby. Look at this. That's actually quite fast. I mean, we can't get too close to it. We might have to like build a little barrier in the front with glass or something, but that's working perfectly. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Of course, I do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And where shall I put this? How about right here? And that is going to be a huge thanks going out to Hey, It's Boyax. Thank you so much for your amazing support over on the Discord. Becoming a Discord premium member, which if you didn't know about, is super brand new. So brand new that very few Discords actually have access to this at the moment. So be sure to be the first to jump on that bandwagon and become a supporter if you do feel like it. Of course, you can join the server as well. Join the Discord server. It is discord.gg/ChosenArchitect. You don't need to be a member to join. And we do now have a public vanilla server that I would love for you to join. This should be going on all year long. It's actually going to be pretty awesome. And my plan is by the end of this year to do a very special recap video that is going to hopefully encompass our server and show off some of the awesome stuff that's happened throughout the year of 2022. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Of course, if you did, be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up and also click that subscribe button. We're so close to 500,000 subscribers. I can almost see it right there off in the distance. Just you know what? Just click the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Guys, I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.